And hello everyone, welcome once again. My name is Logan, and this is Decode Your Reality. Today I'm going to be breaking down and decoding the current Pope of the Vatican City, Pope Francis, the first Jesuit Pope, I might add. And we have a lot of twists and turns on this one, but I think I'm going to make it perfectly clear who this guy is, who he works for, and what side he's on, what team he is with. So here we go. Just a short, quick showing of the methods I use for my decoding. For those of you that are here for the first time, welcome. And I'll just suggest that you follow along with the numbers. We're like putting a puzzle together. And then if you're interested more in how to do this, hit me up, send me an email, decodeyourreality@gmail.com, and I'll do my best to help you out. For those of you returning, thank you very much for your support. It is because of you and all your decoding that allows me to go further and, strengthen numbers. So the methods I use in decoding is, first and foremost, I use numerology. Numerology is the science of numbers. We are decoding letters and words into numbers. Notice the word Catholic, which is what the Vatican is all about. That has a total of the number 27 in numerology. But then we can add a second layer into this, and we add in alchemy, which is the blending of these energies, the elements of the periodic table. And what we want to do is we want to match up the numbers of what Catholic becomes, which is 314571313. We want to have matching that of the elements 314571313. And then what we do is we take the atomic weights or the atomic masses of these elements, and we use alchemy. It's blending these together, and we go over to the trusty calculator and we add those up, and we get a total of 57.088. And I'll make a notation here that this is the feminine side of the decimal, and this is the masculine side. The next time you go pump gas, you'll notice that this side feeds this side. And of course, the feminine has to give birth to the masculine, and that's what the decimal point is. It separates the masculine from the feminine. So we have actually many different layers to observe this. We can add this up totally, or we can keep them separate. That's what I like to do to get a really definitive of what this word Catholic means, other than it being a number 27. So 57.088 is what it comes out to be, and that is related to the element nickel, because nickel has an atomic weight or mass of 57.935. This is its most abundant weight, I might add. Most of these elements have more than one weight. I'm going by the most natural abundant weight or atomic mass of nickel. And what's interesting about nickel, you've heard the terminology Old Saint Nick. Well, if you go read about this element, and I'll go here, this is the website I use. It's the Royal Society of Chemistry, the rsc.org/periodic-table, and you go to these elements, and they're going to have little pictures, and then they're going to have the origins of the name, which you can get some things you can decode from. For instance, nickel is from the German word Kupfernickel, and it means devil's copper. Now, going back to this here, I have Lucifer here because Lucifer equals the number 28, which is a direct match of nickel's protons. That's what this little number means there. It's how many protons this element has. So it's a direct match to Lucifer. Now, am I saying that Lucifer is running the Catholic faith? It's a very good possibility. And I'm going to show you with more supporting evidence that that's probably exactly what's going on. And then, of course, I have lanthanum here because lanthanum has 57 protons, and that's a match of nickel's atomic mass. So these two elements are kind of in bed together. They're linked up together. So you can read from lanthanum, you can read from nickel, and when you start to read from these on this website, you'll start to be able to understand that these, although are just part of science, they're telling us a story and defining what this matrix reality means. Then, of course, let's not forget the 88. 88 miles an hour, the DeLorean, Back to the Future. 88's in Donnie Darko. 88's tied to time travel. It's tied to the element radium, which is right here. Very, very important. Understand radium as in radiation. So it's really, really important, this element, and what it means and what it comes from and what the names are derived from. And of course, I do use numerology. This is gematrinator.com. If you're new to this, you're going to get the base ciphers, which are right here. I don't use any of these, but this one primarily. If you're new to this, I'm going to suggest you go to this other one, you click this Chaldean one, and then you get rid of these reverse ones. Get rid of these, get rid of this one, and I'm suggesting you use these two right here. To me, these are the most important and the most accurate. It'll give you more of a defined story as to what these things mean. Okay, so that's method number one. Method number two, I like to bring in the animal tarot, the medicine cards they're called. There's 52 of these matching the 52 weeks of the year. Each number is given an animal or an insect or a reptile. And you can read about those as well. Now, the picture I have here is a dragon in the background. The reason why, because the 27th card is the dragonfly. Catholic equals 27. So what am I indicating here? Well, if you read in theology, you read the Bible, it says, and the great dragon was hurled down to the earth, to torment the earth. And so when you put two and two together, is it possible that the dragon that's talked about in Revelation is directly linked to this religion? And then, you go back to this. Is this the great dragon? It's very possible, folks. Devil's copper? You got to use logic and common sense. Most people don't have that. Not you, but most people don't have common sense. And then I like to bring in the cards of illumination. Again, 52 cards matching the 52 weeks of the year. These are extremely accurate. 52 cards, 52 weeks. 4 suits, 4 seasons. Highly, highly accurate. And then you can do the numerology of these. So I'm showing these 3 cards and these 3 people. These are people in high places. This guy is in control of over 1 billion people. That's how big the Catholic and Christian faith is. And then, these guys, they're in charge of 300 million, but they also are in bed with Israel and other countries. So there's a lot of layers to this. But the reason why I'm showing these 3 guys is because they share many of the same traits in today's world. And this is one of them. These are their cards. This is Jorge's birth card right here. He was born on December 17th. That's the Ace of Clubs. Let me digress and show you the chart. This is the boilerplate chart for the cards of illumination. There are the 12 months at the top, and then going longitudinally from top to bottom, the 31 days in the months. And your birthday card is in here as well. If you're interested in this, hit me up, decodeyourreality@gmail.com, and I'll help you out. Check out my video, How to Decode Yourself. But nonetheless, here is Pope Francis's birth card, the Ace of Clubs. Here is Donald Trump's card, the 3 of Diamonds, born on June 14th. And then his co-partner, Pence, born on June 7th, just 7 days prior to his, is the 10 of Diamonds. These 3 cards, when you say Ace Clubs, 3 Diamonds, 10 Diamonds, we get an output of 119, which is linked to the element tin. Because tin, folks, which is right here, has an atomic mass, its most abundant, right there, of 119. Notice, I'll show you this, the natural abundance, the most abundant is 32.58%. So if you're wondering, folks, some people are asking me, well, how did you come up with the number? Because it says 118. This is the average number. You want to come down to the oxidation states and isotopes, and you want to find the one that has the highest natural abundance. It's this one right there, 119. Tin, related to the planet Jupiter. Okay? And amongst other things. But these three guys end up becoming 119, which are linked to tin or 10. All right? So I showed you this chart here. And then I also have, here is the natural flowing order of the cards of illumination. There's 13 cards in each suit. So here's the kings, you know, card 13, card 26, card 39, card 52. Jokers hold in everything. If you need these graphics, hit me up and I'll send them to you. Here's the medicine cards, the 52 medicine cards. And then, of course, let's not forget the counterpart of the cards of illumination, the tarot. And here is the chart for that as well. I'll send that to you if you're looking for them. So let's start off with this right here, folks, because this has everything to do with the Vatican. The Society of Jesus, the Jesuits, which is tied to the Knights Templar. You know, all this stuff's coming out now, folks. This is the Black Pope, by the way. And, you know, this is their symbol right here, which is the black sun. And, you know, there's much to this right here. We could decode this, but I'm showing this because it has everything to do with the Vatican. They go by the Society of Jesus. That equals the number 57. And, of course, they call themselves Jesuits. That equals the number 20. Well, the interesting part about that is the 20th card in the cards of illumination, going by what I just showed you, is the 7 of clubs. Well, the counterpart to that in the tarot came after the cards of illumination, is the wands. This is the 7 of wands. Wands means clubs. That's the 28th card. And the interesting part is, again, Lucifer equals 28, so that's one of his cards. And then, of course, Jesuit and Lucifer, 20 and 28, are linked to these right here. So it's clear, to me, crystal clear, who's running the Jesuits. It would be that character right there. And, you know, where does the 57 come into play? Well, I just showed that before, which is right here, the nickel, which is Lucifer. You see? So there's crystal clarity on what's running this society, which is running the Vatican. They are the Black Pope. The Vatican's the White Pope, which is this guy right here. Now I'm showing this right here. This is really, really fascinating. You know, it looks really, I don't know, it looks really demonic and evil to me. This entire sculpt, this guy who did this called the Resurrection. Boy, I might have lost for words. My apologies. In 1977 of all years, this guy, Pericle Fazzini, I hope I pronounced that right, he's the sculptor who created this. And this is in Pope 6 Audience Hall, which is right here. It was completed in 1971. That has significance and ties to Lucifer as well. But nonetheless, look at this and these tie-ins here. This guy's name has a total numerology of 57, which is, again, tied to the element nickel, which is tied to the Society of Jesus. So they're all in bed together, folks. And why I'm showing this is just blows me away, but it came to this. This is the front shot of this. I mean, if you're looking from the crowd, you'd be seeing this. But if you're looking from the seat of the Pope, you'd be looking into the audience. This is what you'd be looking at. And the reason why I'm showing this, folks, what does that look like to you? I mean, can you see the two eyes and the way they shaped the lights? I mean, does that not look like a snake or a serpent? kind of does to me. No, it abso-friggin-lutely was designed to look that way. Without a shadow of a doubt, folks. So I can tell you loud and clear, and again, it's my opinion, this guy right here, lizard, reptilian, and it's all coming out. And you know, these are the 4 cards in the 52 cards of the medicine card, the animal tarot deck. These are the only 4 cards that are the reptiles. There are only 4 out of the 52. And you know, if you know what the 4 is all about, 4 is, you know, the pyramid has 4 sides to it which connect to the earth. So 4 is a huge number. It's the heart chakra. It's ruled by the emperor and the tarot. It's really what defines this matrix. You know, 4 is Mason. I mean, there's so many ties to the number 4. 4 would be Jupiter. So these are the 4 cards, and I'm showing you these because they live. You've seen that movie in 1988 of all years that it came out. 1988, the movie They Live came out by John Carpenter. And it was about a movie about a guy who came upon some sunglasses, and it showed him that people were not human. They were lizards. You know, there was a show in 1983 called V, and that was a show about lizards. And there was 50 alien spacecrafts that came to Earth, and they weren't here to help you. You know, and I showed you the 50, what it's tied to. You know, Donald Trump, Pence, and this guy's name, their cards come out to the number 50 or 119, which is 10. But anyway, here are the 4 reptile cards, and look at what they end up equaling, folks. The number 83. This is important because this is the element bismuth. And if you add up these numbers, I'll let you add them up. You can get another variance of what the vantage point of all this stuff is. But let's go to bismuth. I want to show you that one because it's kind of interesting. Look at the picture they show here for this. You know, there's so many symbols they've put in here, but what does that look like to you? You know, what does that look like to you? There's a lot of information in here, folks, about what this thing means. But anyway, what does the bismuth end up becoming? What does it look like? So we're talking about reptilians, folks. I'm telling you, this is what's running the Vatican. We do not have humans running the Vatican, folks. This is not human, folks. It's not. And it's all coming out. Bismuth is a 25, just like the word adversary is a 25. Bismuth is an 83 through its protons. The number 83 through numberempire.com is the 23rd prime number, matching that of the word crown. Where's the crown located, folks? Besides London, there are several cities in the world that call themselves the crown. Many people think that the royal family are lizards, including David Icke. And that would also include myself, from all the research I'm doing. Pope Francis, I mean, his last name is not Francis, but that's what he goes by. That equals the number 23. Remember, this is the first Jesuit pope, the first one. The guy's 83 years old, by the way. He's 83 years old right now. Big time to be alive right now, I'll tell you, 2020, the year of judgment. Nonetheless, he's a 23, matching that of the word crown. I'm putting in what's the crown tries to own you through your blood. That equals the number 23. And of course, do you think that they, and I say the crown, the people that temporarily run the world, do you think they have any say in our history? Who creates our history? You know, I wasn't around 100 years ago. So can I rely completely on what the history books tell us? Can you? Here was a magazine indicating the New World Pope. Came out March 25th, 2013. I'm going to get into that. Look at the colors they use here, folks. Time, of course, always has that classic red. Red means root chakra, while orange is Venus. And of course, many people believe that Venus is linked to Lucifer, the morning star. Why would you use orange in there? Clearly done on purpose. I know why they got orange there. New World Pope through numerology equals the number 66. Folks, that's a direct match of this guy's birth name. 66. Now, why does this stuff happen? Folks, this matrix is fixed. It's rigged. There's no other way that anyone can describe this and put it into perspective, because it's too complex for someone or a group of people to sit down and really control everything through all these editors and these graphic designers and to choose these words to match up like this. It's just way too complicated. So the game of life is fixed. There's no other explanation for it. And here you go. I mean, the three guys I showed you in the beginning of this, the current Pope, his name equals 66. Current President of the U.S. equals 66. The Vice President of the U.S. equals 66. And then let's bring in a little theology. Revelation is the 66th book in the Bible, which talks about the trumpets being blown, the trumpets being blown. I mean, what are the odds of that happening, of being the case? This book was supposedly written 2,000-3,000 years ago. And it's got these two guys' names in it, with this guy's name ushering in the New World Order, the New World Pope. I mean, folks, you gotta, you owe it to yourself to start asking yourself these questions and questioning this stuff, because this is real deal stuff here. The magazine came out March 25th, 2013. My eyes are playing tricks on me. Here's the numerology on that. That's what it says on the date on the magazine. That's a number 28, folks, in numerology, with another match to yours truly. And then, let's bring in another layer. He is called the Pope, right? Well, that's a 28. I mean, look at the tie-ins to this, folks. And, why is this happening like that? Because it strengthens the story, folks. It makes it more substantial and more real, so it comes to fruition. I mean, anybody can match up any numbers if they try hard enough. But when you bring the layers in like this, it starts to tell a story that's real and true. Which, like 1 and 1 plus 1 is 2. 3 times 3. 4 times 3 is 12. Stuff like that. This is the phrase that was coined by Constantine to refer to St. Peter. I mean, the Pope is regarded as St. Peter. So this was a phrase that they use, and look at what this comes out to, folks. The number 47. The number 47 is tied to the element silver, and, silver equals the number 20, which is a direct match to the word Jesuit. So you got 47, and that's a direct match of tetragrammaton. If you don't know what tetragrammaton means, I'd suggest that you pause this and just Google it real quick and educate yourself, because it is a big-time name in the world of the esoteric and decoding. I mean, it's the ancient Israelite God of the Old Testament and the New Testament. But, why would these things be tied to this guy? And the Catholic Church and the Christian Church. And here's the symbol for St. Peter. Again, the Pope is regarded as St. Peter. And go fact check this out yourself. inverted cross, the upside down cross, is the symbol for Peter. Note that Peter equals the number 24. We're going to get to that. It's really important. And here it is, folks. I'm bringing in another layer to show you what possibly could be tied to these people. You know, I said these people are not human. Maybe some of them are, but you know, you look at these people. They live long lives, extended lives. You know, and why? How is that possible? Well, this is coming out. This is coming out, and you know, this equals the number 50. Adrenochrome, it equals the number 119 and the number 50, and I showed you the 119 and the 50, folks. And you know, keep in mind that this right here, Peter, who is the Pope, is directly linked to this element right here called chromium, the 24th element. This is the picture the Royal Society of Chemistry decided to put up on their website. Look at the symbols in there. It's a skull with wings on it. Not very friendly, you know. And of course, they'll just say, well, it's representing chrome. Well, why use a skull with wings? You know, you got to use. This is where common sense and logic comes into play. So chromium is a 24, matching that of Peter, and you know, that's a 51 as well. And there's great significance to that because London sits at the latitude 51 degrees north. So I can guarantee you there's a tie-in to London, to this Peter and the Vatican, and it's all tied together. All of it, and it's all coming out. What about the cards? The cards of Illumination. The 24th card in the deck is the Jack of Clubs. So the Jack of Clubs is tied to chromium because chromium has 24 protons, which again is tied to Peter because Peter in numerology equals 24, which is tied to the Pope. Now I'm showing Trump in the background because, well, his last name is a direct match to Peter. It's a 24. Just like the word Donald, Donald also equals the number 24. And again, you know, these guys share the same full birth name numerology on their birth certificates. 66, the master number 66. So what am I indicating here? What am I insinuating? Well, I'm leaving it up to you as the observer, folks, you know, of who this guy is and what he's all about. And who this guy is and what he's all about. But I mean, here's more direct tie-ins to the Pope and Trump, folks. I mean, we're talking 24. Peter's 24. Well, the 24th day of the year is January 24th. And that's the 3 of Diamonds card. Well, guess who has the 3 of Diamonds card as his birthday? You're right. Yeah, that's exactly right. This guy right here. He's got the 3 of Diamonds. You know? And again, these guys' names match up in numerology. Big time tie-ins here, folks. And you know, the tarot, what does the tarot got to say? Well, the 3 of Diamonds being the 24th card, or tied to January 24th. Well, the counterpart to that in the tarot is the 3 of Pentacles. And of course, remember, Donald John Trump equals 66. It's a direct match to the 66 card, 3 of Pentacles, and then Donald John Trump's birth card is the 3 of Diamonds, which is the cousin card of the 66 card, the 3 of Pentacles. These are super, super strong. As is this right here. You know, undeniable, folks, when you observe it from these layers. Not just opinions. When you go a little bit further on this, you know, like here is again Jorge's or Pope Francis's birth card, December 17th, is the Ace of Clubs. Well, the Ace of Clubs is the 14th card in the deck. That's a direct match of the word Satan. You know, I mean, even just look at this. December 17th On the Gregorian calendar, it's the 351st day of the year, and there's 14 days remaining until the end of the year. I mean, what are the odds of that being the case with this? Look, that's why these are so accurate. I mean, this is so accurate for this guy, Ace of Clubs. And of course, Ace means new beginnings, and Clubs means mind. So he's trying to create new beginnings for the New World Order. The one world government, the one world religion. You know? And I mean, you know, let's not forget his birthday was on June 14th. I mean, look at this, June 14th, and then his birth card, and there's his birthday, is 14 days until the end of the year, and that's a direct match of the character Satan. Whether or not you believe in this character doesn't matter, because there are billions of people that do believe in it, which makes it real. It may not be real in your world, but in their world, it does. And what does the tarot got to say about their birthdays and the card numbers? You know, June 14th, the 14th is the Temperance card. And then his is the 17th, that's the Star card. You know, if you go look up Lucifer, if you go study Lucifer and you study the esoteric, you're going to see that a popular number that's tied to him is the 741. Lucifer's numbers, Manly P. Hall, the secret of all ages. He says Lucifer's number 741. I don't know if he's right or not, but I mean, what are the odds that these guys have that? The 7, 4, and the 1. You know, let's not forget, this right here is a big standout. The Star card and Temperance. That's what it says right on the cards. These matching these two guys' birthdays. That's also a number 66. I mean, you look at these things, folks. You know, I don't know how any other way to explain it. I mean, it's just common sense. And, you know, like, again, I'm not stretching here. I'm actually adding things to support the numerology that I'm showing you. I'm not just slinging numerology and calling it a day and trying to connect the dots. I'm connecting it with other layers of the mystical arts and showing you with real numbers in time of what these guys are attached to. This is my last slide, folks. You know, Pope Francis is what he goes by. He equals the number 51. That's tied to the all-seeing eye of Horus, because the 51st element is called antimony. And, you know, antimony equals the number 28, which is another direct match of the character Lucifer. You know, and again, Francis is 23, matching that of the crown. So is this eye of Horus, you know, is it just beyond the brain? Like when you slice the brain open, you can see the eye of Horus there. Many of you might know this. But is it beyond that? Like, what does the Egyptian symbol mean? You know, and does it have some kind of layer of this to it? This character? But it's clear to me that this dude right here is definitely tied to this character right there. Make no mistake about it. That's exactly what's going on. And there's a very good chance that this guy is also tied to this guy right here. And I've shown this. I mean, he's tied to the element lanthanum. I've shown it. And that element means to lie hidden, folks. So there's two logical choices for this. He's either here to save the world, or he's here to take it down, and he's going to con you like you've never been conned before. And I choose the latter, folks. I think he's a big con. Yeah, hey, everybody has good and bad sides. He's a Gemini. I mean, there's so many things I've already decoded. Go check out my decoding of the Trump Tower and then make your decision. I mean, I have so many things that support that this guy right here is a big fraud and a con. And I mean, it's going to this. I'm just here to point out my opinions, but I'm here to point out my truths, what I see. You know, that's my destiny. My destiny is to show you guys and gals these things so you can make your own decisions based upon what you see. Not here to force anything on anybody. But I think it's crystal clear. I mean, look at this. You know? I mean, so many different tie-ins here, folks. So, what is it you saw during this presentation? What did you see? And I'm going to leave it here, and I'm going to end this presentation. I'm going to thank you very much for watching. My name is Logan. This is Decode Your Reality. Till next time.